Hey, you guys, this is Tracy Lee, and I am in a box way up high above the UFC octagon with Mike Chandler. How's it going today, Mike?
Doing good, enjoying the fights, hanging with you.
Right. So this is your first time being on Hang With. What do you think?
It is. It's sweet. We literally just launched the thing, and you already have 20 people in here, 20 people watch, 28, yeah. So this is awesome.
Look, they're saying hi to you.
Iron Mike, MMA Minutes, what's up?
And OME, what's up, Chris? How's it going? Okay, so Mark Munoz just got put to sleep in the octagon. Were you a little bit surprised how this fight went?
I was, actually, especially with Mark's wrestling background, his ground game. But at the end of the day, if a choke gets locked up that quick, there's really not much you can do. Mark's a very resilient guy. He always talks about being resilient. He'll be back. I just love Mark Munoz. I don't even know him that well, but he's the kind of guy that you watch, and you're just like, that's the kind of guy I want to be like, you know? So he'll be back.
He's very motivational, and he's really great to his team. Everybody that works with him loves him. So, I mean, he's a really great guy. He does bounce back. He's super positive. So I expect to see a lot more from him in the octagon. But going back to the fight here, you know, I mean, he trains with the Gracie brothers, doesn't he?
I believe. I know he bounces around there in the Orange County area. So, I follow him on Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So I see him, his workouts and whatnot, wearing the gi and that kind of stuff. So I'm sure he was well prepared for the fight. But in the fight game, there's 1,000 ways to win, 1,000 ways to lose.
And Hon Carnero is no joke on the ground.
No joke. Yeah, I mean, he obviously, he's Brazilian. He comes from the American top team. Those people know how to work on the ground, on the feet. It's a great camp. So it's the fight game. That's how it happens.
Didn't expect that, but that's the way the cookie crumbles in MMA. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. Like I said, there's 1,000 ways to win, 1,000 ways to lose. You got to get back up, dust yourself off, like I know Mark Munoz is already right now. Have that short mindset, that short-term memory. Completely forget about it. Get back in the gym on Monday and get back at it.
So now, what's up next for you?
I don't know. I'm waiting to hear. I was pushing for a fight in March. I don't think I'm getting that. I was pushing for a fight in April. I don't think I'm getting that. I got a meeting this coming week with Scott Coker and some of the big wigs there at Spike. So we're gonna figure out a plan. We're gonna figure out a way to get me back in the cage, figure it out, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna win that title. If not, we'll see what happens. We'll see what my future holds.
So now, how is it being in the new era of Bellator under Scott Coker's reign? Have you noticed a big difference?
Yeah, I mean, I just watched the show last night. Obviously, this is the second big show that Bellator's put on. They put on a couple small shows, and this is their second big show they put on. Huge screens, huge production. The production value is so much better. The TV, the way it looks on TV is so much better. The fights they're putting together are a lot better. So it's exciting. We will see. I myself haven't seen the full effect of the Scott Coker era yet in Bellator, but I fully intend to see that over the next however many months. Until I fight my first fight, second fight, whatever, and we'll see what the future holds. I'm excited.
Now, I totally just got distracted by the TVs in front of us. Chuck. Okay, so Chuck. Chuck. Yeah, so Chuck is hosting the after party tonight at the Conga Room, but Chuck actually happens to be in the suite right next to us over here. We can knock on the window. I don't know. I can't see him right now, but he's in this suite right next to us. So he's actually playing bouncer right next door, working the door. Did you guys try and make it into that suite?
No, as soon as you told me that he was working the door, I stayed away. I'm not trying to get freaking knocked out by the Iceman, if you know what I'm saying.
I know, even though he's retired, he probably packs a good punch.
He's still got one of the top right hands in this whole arena right now. So,
and only the arena, or probably the games,
or probably the complete United States of the Earth. United States of the Earth universe.
So you were in Vegas, and did you follow Neil Malance into San Diego, or how did you end up in San Diego?
No, I actually moved first.
So he followed you?
Yeah, he did. And Neil's been one of those guys. I worked with him since day one. Worked with Gil Martinez, who's here since day one. But, I'm a big team atmosphere kind of guy, and I followed a team. The team was kind of falling apart in Extreme Couture, and I went down to San Diego where the team is. And now, I'm still working with Gil. I've been to Vegas a couple times just to work with him, just to gain that knowledge. He's literally the best striking coach in the game, in my opinion. And then Neil Melanz is the best grappling coach in the world, in my opinion. So just continuing to not put myself in a box, continuing to realize I have literally this short of a window of opportunity to create the best Michael Chandler fighter I possibly can be. So I'm not putting any limits on myself. And I'm going to, if I have to drive 1,000 miles and pay $1 million to go work with a specific coach, I'm going to do it because that's what's most important to me, you know?
So moving to San Diego, what else, I mean, like as far as, do you love the team at Alliance? Alliance is a fantastic group of UFC fighters, Bellator fighters, all different like sizes, colors, shapes. I mean, talk about the team there.
100%. Yeah, I mean, obviously Dominic Cruz is there. God bless his little heart, freaking, you know, with what he's going through. But he's a huge motivator for the team. Honestly, he's the kind of guy. Nobody at Alliance loves the sport of mixed martial arts like Dominic Cruz does. So to have him in the gym and for me to look at him and say, holy cow, why am I complaining when this guy right here loves the sport more than I do, works harder than I do, and wishes more than anything in the world he could be on the mat? How can I complain about anything? How can I slack off today? So he's really a huge motivator as well as a coach. You guys see him on Fox. He's a great analyst. So he understands the game, and he has a mind for the game like nobody else has. And then just a list of guys, Brandon Vera, Phil Davis, Miles Jury, Ross Pearson just got back. He's going to be here till the end of the year. Norman Park comes in and trains with us. Jeremy Stevens. I mean, just the list goes on and on of great training partners at that 145, 155, 170. For me, Rick Story just moved to our gym, so he's a great addition. I got to go a couple rounds with him the other day. So Alexander Gustafsson is there all the time, so just to watch that beast is crazy. Just the way he moves, the way he throws punches, kicks, knees, elbows, it's an inspiration. So every day you show up inspired and pumped up and better than you leave better than when you got there. So it's a great gym, and I'm very blessed to be a part of it.
Now, you recently got married.
I did.
And talk about married life and how your wife handles this lifestyle.
She handles it really well. Honestly, before we met, she had never seen a fight before, so she wasn't familiar with the fight game. She wasn't, honestly, when we were on our first date, she had no idea. She's like, how much money, she wasn't really worried about the money, but she didn't know whether I made $100 a fight. She didn't know whether I made $5 million a fight. She didn't know whether I do it full time and I have a job on the side. She didn't understand the game of mixed martial arts and literally the culture of it. So it's a learning progress for her, and she loves it. I mean, obviously she was a 3-sport athlete in high school and could have went to college playing sports and whatnot, but she took the medical route, and so she understands competition. She understands hard work.
Medical route doing.
She's a physician assistant, so she's tonight she works from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Doing tubes in people's hearts and setting bones and making casts and doing all kinds of nasty stuff that will make us probably puke all over ourselves.
So essentially, what you do in the cage is mild for her.
Oh no, yeah. When we go backstage after the Alvarez fight and both my eyes are swollen shut and I need 3 sets of stitches, she's not even fazed by it.
She just handles it.
She's seen it all: blood, puke, poop, freaking stitches. She's seen it all, So she's good with it all, and she's a great support, and I'm very blessed to have her by my side over these last 3 losses have been somewhat of a turning point in my life, and I'm just excited for the future, really. So it's exciting.
And I'm going to guess no children anytime in the near horizon.
No, luckily, when guys get married, it's always up to the girl. It's always up to your wife, and luckily she wants to wait a couple years. We still have a lot of traveling to do, a lot more things to accomplish in my career and her career, a lot of things to do before then. But we were definitely going to have a couple kids, but it's definitely going to be probably 4 or 5 years down the road. So we're excited.
Now, some of the fans watching us, we got 73 viewers, and we've got a few people asking questions. So MMA Minute says, who at Alliance will knock Ramsey Nijem next?
Any of us, honestly. No, I think he or she is referring to, we had some Twitter beef the other day. Ramsey made fun of Miles Jury, and then me and Jeremy Stevens kind of chimed in. So, Ramsey, if you want to come down to Alliance or anywhere in the continental United States, we'll come and knock you out.
That sounds like some fighting words right there. Okay, so next, how does his wife encourage him and push him to do what he does?
Honestly, I was just telling her this earlier. she acts like I'm this big tough guy and I work so hard and this and that, but she has no idea how much her going to the hospital and working a 12-hour shift and literally picking up more patients than anybody in the emergency room. You know, there's doctors there's physician assistants, there's nurses, but she always carries more patients than anybody else, and to her it's normal, and she always gets praised like, oh my gosh, you work so hard, you have so many patients, but to her it's normal. So for me to do extra reps at the gym, to do extra rounds of sparring, to lift more weights than everybody else, and to spend more time beating on my craft is just normal for me, because she inspires me, and my parents before her inspired me, and that's just how I've always worked my life. Is if you're not the hardest worker, you're going to get left behind, and that's how she really inspires me and encourages me.
That's great. It's good to have that kind of person in your life to motivate you. Now, they ask, what kind of food do they serve there? Hey, Brian, you're going to have to ask, serve where? Serve here at the suite? I don't know what you're talking about, so clarify that. How do you score the McGeary-Newton fight?
I actually didn't see it. I saw the highlights, but I did see McGeary looking a little bit more dominant. I think he did more damage to Newton's face. I think he had a lot more submissions. It seemed like every highlight was Newton fighting out of a triangle, and then an arm bar, and then an arm lock, and then, so McGeary's a tough dude. Newton's a tough, unorthodox guy. I'm sure we'll see them fight again in 2015, but I think McGeary, I agree with the judges on that one.
Okay, how do you have time to do that? You cut things out of your day too. Have time to do what, guys? You guys have to kind of clarify your questions a little bit more. So ask that one again, please, Basic Chick. And Motivator Don says, so much for her and you to respect her and to honor her. Good man. Oh, Brian. Okay, so we're in the suite here at the Staples Center, and they're serving. Oh, you want to tell him?
Oh, I'll tell you exactly.
He's not fighting right now, so he's definitely been trying out all the food here in the suite.
You got to ask the guy about the food. First of all, there's a salad at the very beginning. If you look over there, the salad hasn't been touched.
Has not been touched at all.
Not been touched. It's been there about 3 hours. But we got, from the very beginning, we got chips and guac, chips and salsa. We had little finger foods, peanuts, trail mix, that kind of stuff. That was just the finger foods, the little appetizers, if you will. And then we moved on to pulled chicken. That was pulled chicken with like wing sauce, hot wings. There's 100% beef hot dogs. I don't know if they're 100%. I just made that up. Yeah, but they were hot dogs. But hey,
there's Asian, the sweet chili wings and the barbecue wings too.
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah, there was hot wings, and I had one that was barbecue. I didn't even know. But so there's an assortment of wings. So you got your protein, you got your carbs, even some veggies over there. We're very health conscious.
You forgot the pasta salad.
Oh, there was pasta. So I wanted a carb load for Monday morning's workout. There is some stringy pasta over there. Good pasta salad.
That was good. Okay, so now what they're asking, what have you learned from your defeats that you can share?
Man, obviously they're all three different to me. The Alvarez fight, I think I was a little bit too over-anxious, a little too overzealous. I was reckless. The fighter that I am is so much more technical and advanced than I showed that night. The second fight, I took a fight when I really shouldn't have. It was Bellator's first pay-per-view. I trained one good week of training with a back injury. Coaches were telling me to pull out of the fight. Managers were telling me to pull out of the fight. I didn't. And had a bad performance, but still had a decent fight. And then the third fight was the classic, anybody can get punched at the right spot at the right time. And, the fight ended the way it did. So more than anything, it teaches you how to be a better man, a better competitor, show up at the gym the next day, and get better.
Yes, I know Spencer Lazara.
Oh, Spencer. What?
Do you believe that humility makes the better fighter?
100%. Yeah, I mean, there's one thing I will say though is humility. Humility is a beautiful but dangerous thing. You can't be too humble in this sport. You can't have so much humility that you forget that it's 100% okay to beat the crap out of people, to be the best fighter in the entire world, because no great fighter, no great athlete in the entire world, whether he believes he's the best in the world, whether he's a Christian, whether he's an atheist, whether he's Buddhist, whether he's a monk, it doesn't matter. you're not really fulfilling your 100% calling in life unless you 100% go for it, believe in it, and you can still be humble and
respectful and have sportsmanship
and be a light, but still go out there and beat the crap out of people. And that's one thing I'm really growing as a person. And you will see a very ferocious Michael Chandler in my next fight.
Well, talk about, I mean, you kind of glanced on it a little bit. I mean, how does religion affect your fighting? I mean, you're a religious guy.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about who you are as a person. It's about the way you conduct yourself, the way you carry yourself. And I really, truly believe that God put me in this sport for a reason. And He didn't put me in this sport to be mediocre. He didn't put me in this sport to be subpar. He put me in this sport to be literally the best in the world. And I truly believe that. I truly believe I'm going to be right down there becoming the best fighter in the world eventually someday. It's just going to take time and the right set of circumstances. But I really feel like these last 3 fights have shaped me into the competitor that you're going to see in my next fight and the rest of my fights in my career.
And we're looking forward to that for sure. The next question, is the win the most important, or is it the journey to get there?
It depends. If you would have asked me, 3 fights ago, I would have said it's the win. If you ask me now, I would say it's the journey. I feel like not getting the win, I feel like having a couple losses and not being perfect, not being flawless, not being undefeated has really given me a new sense of hunger in this sport, a new sense of purpose in this sport, to show people that no matter what you're going through, my losses in life, my losses in this sport, 3 losses in a row, looking like you're down and out, losing the title a couple different times. We all go through those same things in life all the time, whether it's breakups, whether it's financial, whether it's whatever you have to persevere through. My story and my journey can correlate to your life, to everybody's life. And I feel like these 3 losses have really shaped me into the man that I am. And this journey is so much more important for my legacy than winning every fight is.
I mean, so that being said, if there was a group of children and they were continually motivated by you, whether you won or you lost, then that journey was all worth it.
100%. And what I would tell them too is, don't worry about what the fans say, what the critics say, even what your supporters say or what your family says. Be true to yourself and always try to outperform the best you. Don't try to outperform the number 1 guy in the world. Don't try to outperform the number 1 salesperson in your company. Don't try to outperform the number 1 teacher at your school. Outperform the best person that you can be. Continue to evolve, continue to get better, and eventually you will fulfill your destiny and fulfill your calling in life. And that's really what I've learned over this last year process, honestly. Oh, boy.
What does Kat have to do tonight to edge out Ronda, do you think?
Ronda Rousey is one of the best competitors in the UFC, in the world, in sports in general. But Kat Zingano is a very tough competitor. We've seen her down and out. We've seen her losing fights. We've seen her come back to win and somehow not be broken, to somehow not lose. So I honestly feel like Ronda Rousey's finally going to get tested tonight, and I hope it's a 5-round war, and I hope we're sitting up here cheering our butts off, and we're going to have a good time.
Well, so you're saying that heart goes a long way in this sport.
So much more. I mean, this sport is, we're all professional athletes. We all train every day. We all have big muscles and great cardio, and we're all tough. But who's the toughest between your ears, these 2 ears? Who's the toughest in your chest? Who has the biggest heart, the smartest mind, and the most confidence to be able to go out there and win for 15 or 25 minutes? And that's what it's so much more about. This sport is so much less physical than it is mental, and it's ridiculous.
Now, Brian's asking what made you want to be a fighter.
Me, it was curiosity. Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley both started fighting after they left Mizzou, and I wrestled with them in college at Mizzou, and I figured, hey, I'll give that a try, and here I am. I haven't looked back since.
Now, oh, cool, Chris, thanks. Yeah, if I see Spencer, I saw him last night, I'll say something for sure. Okay, hi, Ray. What's that, Ballenberger fan? Even after being struck upon, okay, since I've been an adult, I haven't lifted my hand to anyone, even after being struck upon. If I were your son, what would you think about that?
I think what you're saying is In life, I mean, we're talking about myself as a professional mixed martial artist. This is how I provide for my family. This is what I feel like is the calling on my life. If 10 dudes started punching me in the face in the middle of LA Live out there in the middle of the street, I wouldn't lift a hand either. I would protect myself. I would crawl up into the fetal position, and I wouldn't fight back because that's not in my character. Fighting out there in front of millions of people and inspiring people and motivating people, that's my passion. But I think you're talking about fighting outside of the cage. I think you're talking about if you and I were at a restaurant and you said something to my wife or I said something to yours, of course I'm gonna stick up for her, but I'm not the kind of guy who starts fights or even wants to be in a fight. I'm a very pacifistic kind of person. I will turn the other cheek, but in the cage, I'm going to rip your head off.
He says perfect answer.
Oh, thank you. Good.
Okay. Brian says, I'm not a fighter, I'm a chef. I fight to put my heart on the plate. I failed, and I've won, but every time I step into that kitchen, I give 100%. Oh, he's not asking a question, he's just stating.
That's good motivation right there.
Not a question, but a statement. Keep your faith, and you will be unstoppable. You're in my prayers for your success.
Thank you, Don.
Now, Ellenberger says, how'd Mary Light treating you? He kind of already asked you that question, Ellenberger's #1 fan, so we're going to skip that.
Very good. Lots of love making to my wife.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's talk about your clothing line. How's that going?
It's going good. I mean, it hasn't grown like I want it to, but that's the beauty and the challenge of having a couple different passions. Obviously, my #1 passion, my #1 calling in life is to be out here in the cage and fight and build a name for myself and in turn inspire people and get people pumped up. But blessedthreads.com is my little baby, and I'm trying to build it. Every time we sell a T-shirt, we give a charitable contribution to a children's cancer organization in St. Louis called Friends of Kids with Cancer, and eventually it will grow. Eventually it will be big, but for now it's very small.
Okay, so Ray here asks, you see Ray's question?
Yeah. Hey, it feels great. Anytime you're hanging out with Tracy Lee, it's a good day.
Thank you, Ed. Great to see you in here. 711 Miracles says he'd love to help market your clothing line.
Well, there you go. Hey, send me an email, michael.chandlerjr@gmail.com. Hit me up.
And it's blessed, BLESSED, threads.com.
Blessedthreads.com. Just like my tattoo on my chest, it's blessed threads, meaning clothing, obviously. Blessedthreads.com.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and plug everybody with your social media where they can find you online?
Yeah, thank you all for showing up. This is awesome. I'm definitely gonna make myself a hang with account and hang with you guys more. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Chandler MMA. I love to connect with you guys. I love to answer questions. I love to talk with you guys. If it weren't for you guys, all of us would just be a bunch of fighters fighting in a basement for no money, with no way to provide for our families. So we love you guys. We thank you guys. I also have a Facebook fan page, the Michael Chandler MMA fan page. So follow me on that stuff. Connect with me that way.
We have another question. I don't know if you want to answer it. With your popularity, how has it had an effect on your everyday life, positive or negative?
I love it. Honestly, I don't look at myself as a popular person or a famous person. I look at myself as just another guy, just another little white boy from High Ridge, Missouri, trying to live out his dream and try to make it. Someday, I will be at the pinnacle of this sport. I truly believe that, and there's going to be a million eyeballs on me. And I hope that it brings a smile to people's faces. I hope that they feel a kind of that butterflies and those goosebumps that really make people want to attain what they're seeking and reach for the stars. So eventually, when I get there, I'm pumped for that. But until then, I'm just going to keep on plugging away.
I've never seen them turn on the house lights like that before at a fight.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Okay, yeah, no, it makes us look good, right? Okay, so the fights are about to start. The main card's about to start. So I'm going to end the broadcast. Say, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. I may broadcast again, but it was an honor and a pleasure to be able to interview you, and I look forward to you getting on Hang With.
100%, absolutely. So I'm excited to watch these fights. Thank you for having me, and thank you to all the fans. Love you guys. I appreciate it.
And stay tuned. Follow me at Miss Tracy Lee on everything: Twitter, Hang With, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, whatever, all of them. I'll see you guys soon.